Alrighty, hey, how are you? Welcome back to Sports Corner. And now it's time for a little convergence debate.
It's a forum segment, and I am joined by Black Squirrel Radio sports director Ken Brown and Daily Kansas City sports editor Jeff Russ. Jeff, that is a lovely sweater vest you have on this evening.
Craig Sager.
Enough from you right now. Okay, let's get right down to it. First debate. Now, the AL Central is upside down right now. You got Chicago and Kansas City leading the division, and the two teams that are expected to contend for the World Series, Cleveland and Detroit, are struggling heavily. Now, I know it's extremely easy and not time to press the panic button, but how do you guys see this division panning out overall? Ken, what do you say?
Well, I'll tell you what. You take a look at the Tigers, and if they don't get a good season out of Dontrelle Willis, they're going to be in trouble. But he's on the 15-day DL right now, and he hasn't had a good season since 2005, which makes it rough on him. I don't know what to say about the White Sox. They're on top right now, but we'll see how things continue to pan out with them. And the Twins without Santana, they're already looking terrible. They're not doing anything. I think they're going to finish at the bottom. But take a look at Kansas City. They're tied for top of the AL Central right now, and I think it's because of their coach, Trey Hillman. The guy coached for 5 years over in Japan, coaching the Nippon Ham Fighters. And he brings a new philosophy to the team. He brings a team-first philosophy to Kansas City with him, and I think it's really going to help him. And Brian Bannister is 3-0 right now, a pitcher for them with a .86 ERA, and he counts stats before the game to study hitter tendencies. And
too early to panic, I think, though, Ken. Like, I mean, it's week 2 of the season. Like, if we're what are we, 5 and 8? Like, if it was July, this wouldn't even matter right now. It's way too early for anyone to start thinking the AL Central. And we haven't played the Tigers yet. We haven't played the Royals. We haven't played anybody yet, except for the White Sox 3 times. Once we start playing the division teams, we'll see the state of the AL Central.
Nippon Hand Fighters. That's good stuff, folks. That's good television. All right, the 7.5-month adventure that is the NBA playoffs is set to begin this weekend, and there seem to be, maybe 2 heavy favorites to represent the East. You got Detroit and Boston. As for the West, I think from top to bottom, any of these 8 teams can make the finals. How do you guys see these NBA playoffs, panning out, and who do you got in the finals?
I think the West playoffs first couple rounds will be better. I think that the better talent is in the West, I think, but I don't think that the best teams necessarily are in the West. I think Detroit plays the Lakers in the finals. What do you think?
Well, you look at Boston, I think they're the team that's going to come out of the East. We talked about them earlier in the show. They're just phenomenal. They've got 3 All-Stars who really get things done for them, and Kevin Garnett, a great addition to their team. But out of the West, it's going to be the Spurs. Manu Ginobili is the best 6th man in the nation, and you know what? I hate that they call him that because he's really a starter who just sits on the bench and plays the other team's scrubs when they come in. But the Spurs are fantastic.
I really like that Cavs Lakers.
Here's a stat on that. Look at potentially all 8 teams in the West could have 50 wins, only 3 in the East. That tells you something's wrong with the NBA right there, folks. All right, now everybody has to know by now about the controversy surrounding the Olympics. It all stems from a Chinese conflict with Tibet and the slew of issues regarding the Chinese government. Now, Jimmy Carter protested the 1980 Summer Olympics in Moscow because of the Cold War and stuff, and some are calling on George Bush to do the same, or at least, protest the opening and closing ceremonies. What do you guys think about the situation going on right now? Ken, what do you say?
Well, I'll tell you what. The Olympics are meant to bring nations together in peaceful sporting events, friendly play. Get rid of the boycotts, the protests, all that stuff. Throw it out the window because that's not what the Olympics are all about. The Olympics are about friendly competition, and I think nations coming together.
But I think sports are a way that they can transcend into politics. I think if you look at some of these issues, who knows if even these issues in Tibet or Darfur.
Look, you got the Dalai Lama right there. That's one of the leaders of the peace movement. You got to wonder if he's going to help out a little bit.
Do you wonder, though, these issues in Tibet and Darfur, do they even come up if it's not for the Olympics being in Beijing? I think it's amazing how sports has become a big political statement in this country.
And you've got to wonder, you guys said it before, if you got a peaceful thing going on, that's going to help you guys out. Wouldn't it make sense to just leave it be and go for it?
Yeah, I think the bigger issue, I think you actually get more awareness if you actually go. You don't say anything by hiding.
That's right. I agree with Jeff on that one. You got to be there and you got to show good sportsmanship.
And you got to wonder, this pressure being put on George Bush, it's got to be tough for him. And
yeah,
he's the guy that's going to have to make a decision. Jimmy Carter did in 1980.
Yeah.
How tough is it for him? Because when it comes down to it, China's not a very popular place in this country right now.
No, it's not. Nobody really. You never want to protest the Olympics. You wish that the world was all right and it was in a place where you didn't have to protest. But I mean, we're in a situation where some people are calling for it. So I wouldn't want to make the decision.
I agree with you. A lot of pressure on him. He's got a very hard decision to make.
We'll see what happens. Alrighty now, and finally, it's April. The NBA playoffs are underway. Major League Baseball has started. But there are clearly better sports months. You got January, February, October. So, guys, what is your favorite sports month and why? If so, why?
Got to go with October. Baseball playoffs are going on. You got the NFL season, and every game matters in the NFL season. All these other seasons, yeah, there's games going on, but how much do some of those games really matter? I think you also got college football going on, so I think every game going on in the month of October matters more than any game in any other month.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's March, personally. You've got opening day of baseball, you've got the NCAA tournament, and you've got college football signing day. A lot of exciting things going on in March. And obviously, March Madness. How do you compete with March Madness? So many games going on at once, so many people's brackets getting demolished. I love college basketball, so personally, I'm going to go with March.
Don't forget about WrestleMania, too, when you're talking about March.
Now wait just a minute. Wait just a minute. What about January? You got the Super Bowl, football championship, NBA season, NHL seasons are underway. January's that's a solid.
Royal Rumble also, if we're going to keep the wrestling pay-per-view theme. You got the two biggest pay-per-view. You got WrestleMania in March, Royal Rumble in January.
Jeff Russ, give me a Jim Ross impersonation right now, because you go with the WrestleMania, you go with the Royal Rumble. We need some Jim Ross right now.
My God, Jeff Russ is on SportsCorner.
My God, indeed. Okay, Ken. Now, what about August? August seems to be a good month. Baseball, you get ready for football. Baseball slowing down. What do you think about August?
You got the World Series, you got college football really starting to get heated. But I agree, August is a great month, but I'm just such a fan of the collegiate sports, and I think that March brings the best of both football and basketball with signing day and the NCAA tournament.
August kind of gets you excited, too, because you got college football. You kind of smell everything for the first time. You got college football and NFL just getting started with preseason, and you're thinking MLB playoffs.
This just in, August gets Jeff Russ excited with the sweater vest. It is good stuff. Hey, Jeff Russ. All right, folks. That is it for Convergence this week. We'll be back next week, and Sports Corner will be right back.